Hello, everybody. This is Jimmy again, and I'm back again with a new collection vacation videos. I want to thank everybody for liking the previous video I did, the Universal Studios video. That kind of pushed me to doing this one as well, and it just seemed like the next step would be going from Universal to MGM. I think this is also 1990, the same summer, the same week. We went to MGM first, and then went to Universal, which was a kind of a shock, as of course you realize if you saw the Universal video. This visit to a movie studio, and I'll talk about this a lot more in the video, was very important to me growing up and being someone who would make movies. A lot of inspiration, I took a lot of inspiration from this visit to MGM, and I'm going to talk about that as we go through the video. And I'll also, since this is a little bit longer, and there's some things in this ride that don't exist anymore, I'll be kind of quiet through some of this. So you can take in, the certain things that happen and, without hearing my commentary, because I don't know. I just want to do a commentary because I want to talk about this stuff and be excited about it. And I think it's fun. So without further ado, let's just jump into 1990 and MGM Studios.
MGM Studio. Yeah, Disney MGM Studio.
All right, there's my mom introducing where we are. So we're at MGM Studios. This is the same summer that I went to Universal from the previous video, and I think we went to MGM first, and then we went to MGM first and went to Universal a couple days later. Pivotal summer for me. This was the summer of Dick Tracy. Dick Tracy is all over this footage. Also the summer of Ninja Turtles, the first movie. And Simpsons Mania was really it was just crazy at the time. Everything was Simpsons. And I was totally into Simpsons. So that was a big part of what I was into at that time. Let's see how we can make out what's all the stuff that's there. I see Great Movie Ride, Star Tours. Hold the camera still, Mom. Indiana Jones, Monster Sound, Here Come the Muppets. Let's Make a Deal. They actually were shooting, which is funny because Let's Make a Deal is now back again. But they were doing a Let's Make a Deal at that time. It's funny, I just now thought of that. Watching this, I remembered that Let's Make a Deal was a game show that was coming back. And they were shooting it on the lot there. And I say on the lot because at the time this was a working movie studio. I mean, they were shooting like Disney Channel stuff. And they had a backlot with all kinds of, like the facades and stuff. So this was real exciting for me as a kid. This even more so than Universal, because you really got a look into how movies were made. And I really do think that there are a lot of things I saw this day that stayed with me into an adult who wanted to make movies. I see a lot of those things, and as we go through here, I will point some of that stuff out. I like the stripes that my dad has going on there. It's probably a UK thing. I'm sure it's a UK thing, but I just like the stripes in general. Mom's really wonky here. This is real wonky even for Mom. Look at that, Dick Tracy. See the pictures back there, the 8x10s? All Dick Tracy makeup, all Dick Tracy stuff there. So my buddy Bo Kalen, if you're watching, that's exciting stuff. Although I don't really know if they made the movie here. Like, I'm not sure if that's just set up because, hey, Dick Tracy's the thing, and here's some props and masks and stuff we worked on while making the movie. But this was cool. There's like an area in between. On each side of us, there's stuff going on. And it looks like people are working. So, yeah, it's a working studio. Look at the big Disney. Look, it says DuckTales there. See, that's real exciting. DuckTales was a brand new thing at that time. Or maybe it hadn't even come out yet. I don't know. And maybe that's the first time I ever saw the words DuckTales. I don't know. And this is the first time I ever rode, because we eventually went to Universal in California, and I rolled the back movie lot. And that was actually an actual back movie lot. This is sort of like, MGM was sort of like Disney's attempt to ape Universal, even though the Universal there wasn't like this yet. So they were kind of aping the Universal of California, which I guess is in competition with Disneyland. So they have all these houses. I don't know what they... I mean, there is the Golden Girls house here. I do remember that. But I don't know of anything that was shot here, like, because this was all new. And unfortunately, I can't. I'm trying to pay. Is there the love bug there? Oh, I don't like the eyes on the love bug there. That's very strange. So that's the house from Empty Nest. I know that, which is the companion. It was a spin-off of Golden Girls. So I know the Golden Girls house is here somewhere. That house looks awfully familiar too. I guess these would have been used for like the Buena Vista shows that were on NBC and whatnot at the time, because that's where Empty Nest and Golden Girls was. There you go. She's talking about Golden Girls. There's the house. She's talking about that. Actually, this house is based on an actual house that I think is in California. No, actually in Florida. And for the first season, they shot exteriors at the house. But I guess after they built this, which at that point Golden Girls had been on for more than a couple seasons, that's a real creepy little playground there. I guess they just shoot stuff there. But they eventually would shoot the exterior of Golden Girls at that location, so they'd just go out and have a car pull up in the driveway as opposed to going all the way out to wherever the real house was, which they probably would have to pay people that own there and whatnot. So, yeah, this is cool stuff. When you're a kid, I don't know, maybe I guess any age, now people are a little more savvy. But at the time, I didn't know that these weren't, like the houses, you're telling me the houses on shows are not real houses? And like, when they cut to the inside of the Golden Girls house, that's not just inside the house? Of course not, that's on a sound stage. It's probably not even in the same state, maybe somewhere else. Like maybe this is an exterior in Florida and they shoot the show in California or New York or wherever. So here we are getting into like they have like a New York. Every one of these like studios has like a New York kind of backlot set. Look at that. Muppet Studios is coming. It wasn't there yet. There is a Muppet Show thing that we eventually go to, but so here's some cool stuff. There is the circus wagon from Dumbo Circus, which is kids watch this have no idea what that is, but that was a show that was really big for me at the time. Well, probably not even. It shouldn't have been at the time because at that point, you know, I'm like 10 years old and I should have been watching that show at 5. But if it was still on, I was probably still watching it. I'm listening to her there. She is staying. I think there's a snow speeder. I think that's the Roger Rabbit. There's the Hoth. That's the Hoth speeder. There is a skiff from Return of the Jedi, and there's the Flight of the Navigator ship. Okay, the red car is. I think we just passed that, but. Oh, there it is. I'm listening to the lady. The lady is saying probably more educational things than me, but this is a commentary, so. Dick Tracy drawbridge coming up there. Was that the SS Minnow? The SS Minnow, James. What was the ship that brought them on to Gilligan's Island? The SS Minnow. And there is the Flight of the Navigator. Was that 2 of them? They had 2 Flight of the Navigator ships. At that point, that movie was a couple years old. There's the Dick Tracy gears. It's weird because that movie just came out, so I guess they were like, what's the thought process of, hey, let's take those gears and stick them on the backlot? I don't know what that Mother Goose thing was from. So another thing that was really big at the time, and I guess still is in these movie studios, these backlot, backlot things, these rides. Let's take you somewhere and make you feel as though you were in some sort of danger and have things explode. It's like an earthquake, or it's like, you know, oh crap, there's a semi exploding, or, you know, it's King Kong, I'm right in the middle of it. So that was a big part of the backlots at this time. I don't know if they still do this kind of stuff. I imagine they still have stunt shows, but it's not really part of these tram things anymore. So, watch. Is that me? Is Mom sitting behind me? No, that's not me. I'm probably sitting next to my mom. So you can hear the water coming. I bet my mom's going to go, hoo, hoo, hoo. Oh, look. It's raining. So they're showing how they fake rain and stuff. And at some point, water's going to come rushing down, and that truck explodes, I think. This was like called Catastrophe Canyon or something at the time. I don't think any of this stuff, in fact, I know none of this stuff is there anymore. There you go. Things are crazy. Here comes some water. I can see my dad right there. There's my head. There's my mom hooting and howling. I remember feeling the heat from this. Okay, here comes water. There it comes. It really does feel like quite an effect. Even watching it on this little screen, it's pretty cool. Look, my dad is enjoying himself. Look at my dad enjoy himself. He's like, well, I'll be. Never thought I'd see something like that. The things they can do. Okay, so the truck has tipped over. What a catastrophe. Catastrophe Canyon this was. I just said, you like that, Mama? The lady wants to know if we like it too. We even applaud. Isn't that nice to have people applaud for special effects like this? I mean, this is all practical stuff, so I might be poo-pooing some of this, but I'm really not. I mean, this is cool stuff. I wish this kind of stuff still existed. All, physical splendor. This was real exciting, all of this for me. I can't say that enough. Of how much, as, a 10-year-old boy, this was all very fascinating to me. I remember several moments, and like I said, I'll talk about them when we get to them. Here we're exposing the guts of what's going on there. I remember watching a video recently where you can still see this this kind of sits abandoned in the park. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I thought I saw a video where this cat was like walking around MGM, and he was like, look, if you stand right here at a 45-degree angle at 3 p.m. every day, or every alternate day, you can actually see Catastrophe Canyon. I remember, sorry, the mic just dropped. I remember a guy saying you could still see this there, but it's not used for anything. But I might be wrong, but it might be something else that was a part of the tour that you can't see anymore. Here, like, one of the technicians is like going over the specifics. Is like, what you just saw was, 15 metric tons of water and amps of an earthquake, and he's like going through this whole thing like it's real exciting. It wasn't. Being in it was exciting, but I don't need to see the specifics of what I just said or what I just saw.
Hi, thanks, Pete.
You know what's weird is I think that's me. That kid right there she's whispering to, like, he kind of holds himself like me, but when he turns out, he's not wearing glasses, so it's definitely not me. I'm sitting right next to my mom. But he has a hat on, just like me, like a black hat. Or my hat might be pink at this time, I don't know. God, pink hats. But this was like 1990, so it's kind of a sweet spot though, because I see a lot of like stuff through these videos that's like 80s. Like the 90s hadn't completely turned everything to like vomit yet. Things still had like see, I'm wearing my Bart Simpson "Who the hell are you" hat. I'm telling you, the Simpsons were just the hippest thing. Oh, we're going back. There's the Mother Goose. We're going back the way we came. Which is interesting. I guess we busted a Yui inside Catastrophe Canyon. Oh, another... Did you hear that? This is another peek of our boneyard. Oh, my. Oh, dear. That's what she said.
Our own little slice of the Big Apple is coming up. This is New York Street we're going to be visiting.
Going to New York Street.
And there's a wonderful photo opportunity coming up.
On the street. On the street.
Right-hand side of the shuttle, I'm going to show you guys why we're to aim your cameras. Now, this eyes at first, but just wait till you get your pictures back.
I'm listening to her.
It pulls the camera even more.
She's talking about a
The
picturesque
next
picture
buildings on New York
moment.
Street, they are just facades also. They're not real.
Mom, please, this is the inside of the bus.
Steel structure in there so it can withstand those hurricane
Shoot
winds.
other things going on.
And we need that steel structure because there's not a real brick on the exterior of those facades. It's styrofoam and fiberglass. It's been painted to look like that aged brick and stonework you see.
It's interesting because now the Muppets are Disney. But you see that in Muppet Studios, and then like Star Wars is there. I guess it's weird to some people how people make a big deal about Disney acquiring the Muppets and Star Wars, but yet you look at this from like almost 30 years ago, and all that stuff is there. So, okay, here's the Dick Tracy thing. Like, there's the Dick Tracy car. Please see our movie that just came out. This is all blatant self-promotion. Here we go. There's the music.
With your shoes melt into the pavement if you stand in one place too long. But he wasn't thinking of the heat when Four Eyes Nowinski stepped out on the corner diner.
Let's watch this.
He was one of Big Boy Caprice's favorites. Four Eyes specialized in explosives.
There's my mom, so I'm filming this. Cool.
As he walked, Four Eyes clutched a suspicious package under his arm. Before long, he was near the station house on 8th Street.
All right, there's Four Eyes.
Would never come this close to a police station voluntarily. But Four Eyes didn't care. He had a score to settle. It was clear Sweeney stepped out of the station. He was headed for his squad car to begin his
I'm trying to
patrol.
see Four Eyes.
Immediately, he noticed Four Eyes lingering by the hood and called for him to halt. Always where Sweeney drew his service revolver and fired back. Realizing
There you go,
his time
Jimmy.
was
Just
short,
kind of
Four Eyes made
hit your
some
giddy
fire.
up there. And
Sweeney followed close behind. Hearing the ticking sound.
okay, where's Dick? All right, okay. Well, we didn't get to see all that. Anyway, it was like a guy comes out wearing like the Dick Tracy, the banana raincoat, and it's a cool little thing. It's cool to have that as a little slice of life at that time, because Dick Tracy was like this huge thing. Like I said, I guess it already came out, because I think I'm wearing the shirt, or I was in one of these footages. So maybe that movie came out in May. So it was a huge thing. This was the summer right after Batman '89, so like Dick Tracy was really aping kind of the success of that, and it didn't quite. I mean, I like it. I think in some ways it's a better movie, to be honest. But it didn't quite have the lasting appeal. So okay, Roger Rabbit was huge too. There's Roger Rabbit feats, and you follow them into Toontown. Is that me? Oh no, I'm not. I was dressed like Bart. This kid was dressed like Bart. Look at all this wonderful Roger Rabbit stuff. Oh my God, that's so cool. This was real exciting too, because that movie had been out a couple of years, but it was still really exciting to see Roger Rabbit stuff. You walk through a queue into kind of like a, it kind of looks like Marvin Acme's gag factory in here. You follow the bunny feet, and you can buy stuff. I wish I had all of the stuff. When every bit, there's like the dip cannon. I'm telling my mom that. I'm like, that's the dip cannon. She's like, whatever.
Hey, this is from Who Framed Roger Rabbit 2. This is from Who Framed Roger Rabbit 2.
See, I'm so excited.
Look, there you get a picture with Jessica.
There's Jessica Rabbit. There's like a cardboard cutout of Jessica Rabbit. See, Dick Tracy stuff's crazy. Dick Tracy and Roger Rabbit. Look at that shirt with Roger. Look at that! I would give... I don't know. I don't know what I would give for some of this stuff.
Where's the shaker? I'll give y'all a picture beside Jessica over there.
Yeah, Mom says, let me get a picture with Jessica. See, there's a Jessica, and then there's like the Roger Rabbit, like he busted through the wall. I have a picture of this. I don't know if we capture it on here, but this was so exciting. You get like a picture here with where it looks like you're in Benny the Cab. You had to pay for it, so my parents weren't going to do that. I mean, this was expensive enough. But hey, what? Slow down. I feel like we didn't spend enough time in there. I would have stopped. See, if I would have stopped and looked at things, my mother and father would have been like, don't touch that. Come here. Told you not to get away from us. Because they always thought I was going to destroy everything.
Oh, Mother, I
Okay, I do get to walk over here. There is a picture of me inside with Jessica and whatever, so I do think that we did get that. I know we did, because I have it. That is so neat. I watched another video where this, on YouTube, where this is of course now another gift shop, but that Roger thing is like behind a something, and if you look behind it, you can see that Roger Rabbit thing is still there, but you just can't see it. Here's some models.
I bet this place has a lot of stuff from Roger Rabbit.
I'm still talking about Roger Rabbit. So from what I can remember, this we're about to go into is like a water tank, and something happens. I don't know. I don't remember. I guess we'll see. I'm gonna take another swig of beer. Does this seem like a lot of people there? I guess it does. But granted, this is MGM, and this was probably like had been open a year, maybe less. I don't know. But you think there'd still be a lot of people there? I don't know. I understand, as I said before, the MGM's totally different now.
Hey folks, as you're coming around the corner, you can go ahead and choose any of the 3 aisles right here on your left-hand side.
All right, so we're in a water tank. I think we're going to watch a boat explode. Or something happens here. They've got the big fans. Got a little like a tugboat. I think they're going to shoot you. I mean, not to hurt you, not with a gun, but they're going to put you in like the little this thing over here and make it look like you're in a storm.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to part 2 of the Backstage Studio tour.
Let's listen to this lady.
Right now, the world of the special effects water tank. My name is Nikki, and these are my assistants, John and Tony, and you'll meet them later on in our show. Follow a battleship off in the distance. Captain over this way. And he said a torpedo.
Okay, so she's setting up what's going on here. They've got a dinghy there. Oh, so there's an explosion. They're gonna sink the battleship. Guns going off. Being attacked from over. We're being attacked by Universal. Guy over there in a dunk tank or something. Oh boy. Oh, they just blew a guy up! That's our first casualty of the day. He's fine. Mom thinks that's funny. So you got a little condensation on the camera there. But isn't this fun though? Like they're trying to make you feel what it's like to be in a movie. That's what all this is about. Like it was really about pulling back the curtain and showing the world. They're applauding for him. It's some guy from the audience. You know, showing off what it's like to be in a movie. And see, I think that's what a lot of these modern studios, that you've totally lost that. You don't have that sort of idea. I mean, yeah, you go to Universal and it's like you're in like Diagon Alley or whatever from Harry Potter, and you're, you know, I don't know. I mean, the Star Wars land is going to be like an immersive experience, but it's not quite like this, where it's like, you know, here's a how we, you know, simulate explosions and make you feel like you're right there. It's not really that's not really what they do anymore. At least I don't think that's what they do.
Leave me, baby.
Certainly not what MGM does anymore, because that's not what it's about. You know, it's just like a theme park. And here we are going to the special effects area. Now, I think this is where, and I'll probably be quiet for some of this because people probably want to see this and not have me yammer through it. I think the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids thing is here, where it's like you're on the back of the bee. I think.
Wow.
This was amazing to me. I remember being there. There's props everywhere. I think there's a Johnny Five right there.
Directly across from those are some pods from the movie Cocoon and our gold robot right here. This is Johnny Five
Yep.
from the movie Short Circuit 2.
Oh, the sequel. Johnny Five is alive. Isn't this a cool room? Like we're all standing around here, like it.
Well, hi everybody. My name is Tammy, and this is it. This is the special effects workshop. This is where the wizards of art and technology create illusions that come to life on the screen. Now they all start with a storyboard, and then miniatures like this one are made and used as guides to create full-size mechanical props like Auntie here. The full-size
Oh, there's the big
props
ant from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids right there behind her.
camera operators using cables to move them. In other cases, miniatures are brought to life through a process known as stop-motion animation. In this process, the miniature is photographed one frame at a time, and then an animator will step in between the shots and move the figure just slightly.
Stuff from
Now,
Honey, I
while
Shrunk the
the
Kids.
shots are played back at regular speed, the movement appears very fluid and lifelike, as with the scene from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. It's a giant
Now available on home video.
Now, miniatures play a very important part in special effects. Take this drawbridge and ferry boat from the movie Dick Tracy.
Now that's cool.
A film that takes the art of visual effects to a new level. Take a look at your monitors and I'll show you what I mean. This particular scene used 4 different elements: live action, animation, miniatures, and something we call matte painting. How did they all come
And what they're showing there, they have the backdrop from the end of Dick Tracy, and like they have like the kind of the miniature set there.
First, the live action was filmed in front of a painted flat on a studio backlot, where Warren Beatty chased the kid down 100 feet of fake railroad tracks.
Oh, this is for the railroad
Then
scene.
6,000 hours of labor went into
Right
creating
before
this
he beats up the
one-ton
tramp
level
guy.
train and a detailed miniature set with just the right lighting. Now, the timing of this train and the live
There's the
action
train. Okay, see, it's hard to see because some of this is hard to make out.
driven cable system that allowed it to move at various speeds. The square rig in front of the train is actually a mirror.
Mom wants to film the lights. Why are you filming the lights, Mom?
The image of the oncoming train right into the camera lens, giving the illusion of a head-on.
Okay, there's a monitor.
Next,
I don't know why Mom's filming the lights.
created from something we call a key illustration. Then the segments of the live action and the miniatures were projected.
It was a really big room, and it was really impressive.
The background was painted in behind it. Finally, they added animated twinkling stars, flashing neon signs, and colored smoke.
All right, this is getting ridiculous, Mom. Please aim the camera back down at the nice lady. Okay, there he goes. There's the bee.
But first, let me show you
Not
how
really.
to replace it with any background that we would like. It is the same process that allowed actor Bob Hoskins to fall into the cartoon world of Roger Rabbit. Okay, girls, here's the scene. You've just been shrunk down by the incredible shrinking gun, so you're eensy-weensy on the back of this hairy, scary bee. So when I yell action, I want you to make the ugliest faces you've ever made in your life and wave those arms, kick those legs like crazy. Here we go. Cameras ready?
If only they'd chosen me for this. This is someone out of the audience, just some kid, I think.
All right. As you can see, the bee is stationary on the floor, but what gives it the illusion of flight is our computer-controlled camera. That's it, girls. Oh, no, hold it. Cut. Oh, Tina, can we set up for another take? John, what do you think?
Ooh.
Oh, girls, the action was great. It was a scary ride. You were smiling. Okay, so we're going to make it a little bit more dramatic. This time, Rachel, you're falling off the beach.
Temperamental director down there.
You're going to reach down, grab her arm, and save her life. What's the matter? Is this your sister? Oh, save her life anyway, Kirsten. It's just the movies. Here we go. Cameras ready?
Nice.
And action. Reach up, reach up. Reach up. Hang on. Oh, yes. What a touching scene. And cut. Oh, yeah. Look at the fear in that face, huh?
For some of you out there, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids is a movie. Look it up on your Netflix queue. Add it to your Netflix queue. It is there because I watched it a couple months ago. So here they're going to show back whatever they just shot against the blue screen, but Mom won't film it. She's not filming what just... Oh, that's the scene from the movie. Mom is just filming everything, but we're trying to tell a story here. That's the bee. Look at all the pubis on the bee. That's what it looks like. I guess they're showing the footage up there. Trust me, it did work out. Rest in peace, Siskel and Ebert. Here, I guess they shot that specially to add on to there, so it's like the kids that acted were really good, and Siskel and Ebert gave them 2 thumbs up. So pretty cool. I think the parks kind of do these things now, where it's like Jimmy Fallon comes on and it's like, "Hey, welcome to this." It's, you know, it's just like makes me want to vomit. And we continue on deep into the bowels of MGM Studios.
It's night in the city, about 3 a.m. Mike's Diner will be open all night.
There's
Open
Dick.
every night for 20 years. On this same corner. Cut. Vittorio?
Very good work.
Good. Let's print it and move on.
Are we inside one?
Yeah, we'll start with the tracking shot, Jim.
Thanks. New deal, everybody. Second piece.
As you can see, this isn't a real diner, and it's not a real city. We're on a sound stage. When we shoot on location, we can waste a lot of time waiting for the right conditions. But here we've got control. If we want fog and there are blue skies outside, we just make it. If not fog, we might call for snow. We might be shooting in July, but on a stage. So depending upon what the story needs, it could be a light snow or blizzard. Maybe we just need rain. See? On the stage, we can control these little unwanted surprises of nature. Thank you. A movie can have a crew of over 100 people with a set. Can fill a number of sound stages.
Excuse me, Warren. Could you check the setup for us, please?
Warren, don't you think it would be much better we track to these wally sticks to stop
Yeah,
breathing?
good.
Please go ahead. Thank you very much.
You see, when you work on a sound stage, you have the luxury of moving things that get in the way, like walls.
Rehearsal? Yes. Terrific. Stand by, guys. Go ahead, everybody. Rehearsal.
I have no idea if this clip is online, so I'm just going to let this play.
Quiet for rehearsal, please.
This might be footage that's dead to the world.
Quiet's another good thing about working on a sound stage. So is lighting. It's supposed to be 4 o'clock in the morning, the sun isn't up yet, but Dick Tracy is.
Background action.
Late night, Tracy? We're all late, Mike. Give me some chili and this time leave off the melted rubber.
Sometimes I wonder why I slave over a hot stove for you, Tracy.
Cut. How's that look, Vittorio?
Very good, Warren.
Good, let's shoot.
Here we go. Rolling. Speed. Marker.
Okay, before we head on to soundstage
I imagine they went to. Can you imagine going to Warren Beatty while he's shooting Dick Tracy and saying, "Hey, we need you to do this little thing for our little theme park thing we're doing. Would you mind doing it?" And he's just like, "Okay." So here we go. This is where they shot "Let's Make a Deal" at that time. So we're walking way above, up in like the catwalk area. I guess that was it. But that's where they shot "Let's Make a Deal." Like I said earlier, it was a big thing they were promoting at the park, and it was on TV at the time because they were trying to kind of bring back. It seemed like they were trying to, I guess, just bring back that show because I mean, like game shows were still a big thing. So, hear that? That's the Gremlin rag. So I think this is the Valiant and Valiant. I think those were like you're walking by like Eddie Valiant's window there. I think that's what this is. I remember this stuff very well, and I may have been filming this. Because I remember walking around holding the camera and the Gremlins music is playing, and I was picturing in my mind the movie I was making, like this was a movie I was making, and people would see it, and I was thinking like what the ending credits would be, and like I was really jazzed and excited about Bette Midler. This is the thing. Well, there's a lot of cool stuff through here. I wish this was better lit, but yeah, at the time I was thinking about the movie I would make, and that this was a movie that people would see. And yeah, I just years later when you're making movies, you look back at something like this, and you remember like that's one of the times I really had a camera in my hand because Mom would never let me borrow the camera. Okay, now I think we're now in the Great Movie Ride. I think this is the cue for the Great Movie Ride. Rest in peace, by the way, the Great Movie Ride. No longer a thing. The exterior of this, here we go. This is in the ride, and I think this is in the ride. Okay, yeah, people are getting in the thing to ride? Yeah. And it looks like you're in a theater, but then the theater seats move.
Well, hi everyone. My name is Tisha, and I'm going to be your guide today on the Great Movie Ride. We're going to take you from this Hollywood soundstage right into the middle of the action of some of the greatest movies ever made. From the Hollywood of the 1930s right up to the top films of today.
I'm gonna let this play. This ride ceased to be, I don't know, maybe a couple days ago? So this is like right at the beginning. This is like, this ride had not been around very long.
Let's get started with a little music, and here's some of Hollywood's best. A Buzz Berkeley extravaganza from Footlight Parade. Up ahead, Gene Kelly is singing in the rain. Further on, Dick Van Dyke and Julie Andrews in the Academy Award-winning Mary Poppins.
Bubbles are coming down from the ceiling there. It's a pretty impressive animatronic, really. Shadows of the chimney sweeps. They're both great in that movie. Dick Van Dyke is, I know people make fun of that accent, but I just think he's so fun and so, I just love Dick Van Dyke in that movie.
Smells like burning garbage.
Well, from the bad guys of the big city, we now move to the good guys of the Old West. And speaking of good guys, here are two of Hollywood's legendary stars, Clint Eastwood and John Wayne.
There's Clint there. I don't know a lot about this ride over the years. Like, I don't know if, I guess, yeah, there's John Wayne.
Gene, move back.
Go right ahead if that's what you're a mind to do. A long time ago, I made me a rule. Let people do what they want.
Get up on your horse and walk into the saloon.
Oh no, it sounds like the bank's being robbed. I'm gonna go get some help. You all stay right here.
So our guy just leaves us. This is what's so fun about this ride. I don't know if they kept this up over the years. Oh, so
Remain seated, please. Hold it right there, hombre.
so this evil cowboy is taking over our tour.
Nothing doing, Lawman.
Look at these theatrics. I mean, this is fun. I mean, see, again, things blowing up and fire. Like, there's just a lot of fire in these rides and backlot things at the time. Everything blowing up, and it's like, holy crap, we're in danger. Oh, I like how it lit everything up there. It looks like a barn and stuff. These rides did kind of make you feel like you could maybe perish at any moment. We're going into Todd's very, well, I don't know what the hell that just said.
Now, don't nobody try anything funny. Just sit tight and I'll figure out what to do with you all later.
That's the cowboy.
Now,
Mom's like,
a
yeah,
sad
cowboy.
deal is going on around here. Where am I anyway? It's Alien. You are with Sigourney Weaver.
Yes.
Aboard the spaceship Nostromo. Something has
I could hear Mom saying, oh no, because we're an alien.
The crew has vanished.
somewhere in the ship, a terrifying creature waits to claim its next victim.
This is so cool.
Warning, remain in your vehicle. The area you are entering is extremely dangerous. Proceed with caution.
I was probably really scared of this at the time. There's an alien in the ceiling, and it kind of comes down like it's trying to get at you. But yeah, this is really dark, and you're not gonna be able to tell what's going on. But everything had atmosphere. That's what the greatest thing about these rides that I rode at this time in my life. They all had a wonderful atmosphere about them, and sort of a cool air. Everything was nice and cool, and some things had like a nice smell, of pyrotechnics and shit. There it is. Oh, you guys saw it pretty cool there when it lit up. But it's just like a half of like a alien sticking out there.
Hey, Slam, I reckon you like you. What kind of hair kind of you been using?
The cowboy is talking some smack there.
Worse than that. Uh-oh. It's worse.
Here in Raiders of the Lost Ark, amid 1,000 deadly snakes,
Oh, boy.
Indiana Jones honors the great treasure. Will Harrison Ford escape with his discovery? And what will be your fate? Beware.
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
Cowboy doesn't like snakes either.
What are you looking at? Cross-eyed galoot?
The dust of 3,000 years lies undisturbed in this ancient burial.
Yeah, so there's like snakes everywhere, like animatronic snakes all over the ground.
The great stone god. A priceless jewel.
Well, well. Will you look at that jewel? You're mine, darling. You're all mine. Oh, come on up there and fetch you my treasure. Don't none of you hombres move.
So the cowboy is going to try and steal the jewel or whatever's up there. I like this. I always like the idea, and I still, at this age, have a fascination with being inside a ride, but not being on the ride. So these characters are just like getting off the boat, or getting off the thing we're on, and just like walk. You can just walk around on the set of a ride. I think that's really cool. Oh, there he goes. That takes care of the cowboy. That'll show him for derailing our theme park ride. Here comes Our Lady back. Oh, no, he's like a charred body or something.
Hi everyone, remember me? Well, that just goes to show you. Anything can happen in the movies. Let's get back to the show.
There you go. See, isn't that fun? Like the ride is like shanghaied and stolen by another character.
Did not remain seated on the great movie ride. Actually, folks, this is the scene where the undead warriors rise from their tombs and strike down intruders like us. Don't worry, though. They tell me they're only dangerous when their eyes glow red. Hey, anybody get any eye drops?
Huh. I remember what it was like to be in this ride. And like I was saying earlier, I didn't get to finish it. I don't know if this ride like changed movies over the years. I'd be interested to find out if that was the thing they did. Here we're in Tarzan, I guess. That ape there is pretty impressive animatronic for the time.
Well, folks, I think we're safe now because this is the home of Tarzan.
Oh, there's an elephant. Okay.
That's Maureen O'Sullivan as Jane and the lovely and talented Cheetah as herself.
I'm not sure if Tarzan is that racially insensitive at this point? Probably best not to get into that topic, but there he is swinging. There's an animatronic Jane. Surprised my mom filmed so much of this ride, but it's cool to have it. There's like a helicopter spinning. I can't tell what's going on. It's very dark and murky. And it feels like a long ride, too, doesn't it? Oh, this is probably Casablanca, right? Yeah. Well, sweetheart, the lives of two people don't amount to a hill of beans in this crazy world, Elsa. That's why you're getting on that plane. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow. This is our hill, and these are our beans. Thank you. It's Casablanca, and here I am, like, quoting, like, these schlocky movies that quote this, but...
The plane awaits as two
Hey,
lovers meet for the
that's
last
me.
time. Humphrey Bogart and Ingrid Bergman in the classic romance Casablanca.
It's weird that you can still hear Tarzan. You're in Casablanca, but you can hear Tarzan bellowing in the background. I feel like Wizard of Oz is next. Because I remember Wizard of Oz, and like you're in the Munchkin land, right? When the house lands upon the witch. It's a whole scene here. It's impressive, those animatronics performing like a whole scene. And what's next? It's real dark. It's real dark. Here we go, Wizard of Oz.
Well, it looks like we're somewhere over the rainbow.
There's the house on the witch. This is really cool. It really did feel like you were on that set. And I feel like there's like a live-action witch here. There's all the animatronic munchkins. Have we lost all the munchkins yet? I think maybe we have. So this is, well, we don't even have this, because they got rid of this ride. What do they do with the animatronics here when they're done? Here we go, there's the witch. I feel like it's a live person, but it might not be. It might be an animatronic. Alright, that's animatronic.
Was it you? No, I didn't kill anyone. That was an accident.
Well, my little pretty, I can cause accidents too.
Oh, rubbish. You have no power here. Now be gone before someone drops the house on you.
She's messing with our
I'll bide my time.
tour guide.
But just try to stay out of my way. Just try. I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog too.
I always like the line, "I'll bide my time." I always like that line. I don't know what exactly that means, but I like it.
Which way do we go? Follow the yellow brick road.
Wouldn't it be cool to work on a ride like this? I think I would dig this. I'm kind of a quiet person, but like, I enjoy like getting into things like this, and like, you know, these people are never going to see me again. I'm just like a tour guide, and they're probably here from Timbuktu or wherever the hell they're from. And there we go, our Big Oz characters. Weird, because that's not from the movie there. Like, that's like someone imitating. Most of that was people imitating. But the earlier scenes were actual dialogue, so I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're proud to present these memorable moments of movie history. And this, our grand finale.
Okay, so I think they're about to show a bunch of clips from movies. I think. Anytime now. There we go. Again, this is something that was very inspirational for me. Because I liked watching clips of things edited together like this. And years later, when I started shooting things in editing, I think a lot of things I learned about when to edit and how to edit to music, I learned and was inspired by these kind of early these videos I would see of like clips of movies cut together. Because I can't remember anywhere out of... Oh, there's some Blazing Saddles. That's great that that's there. These clips are like everywhere, so Mom is like trying to like move the camera to get the clips, and sometimes the clips are not where the camera is. She's got to swivel. Is there a problem, officer? She's got to swivel to find the clip. But yeah, I think stuff like this really inspired me later when I was editing clips together. Because I like the way this kind of stuff flows. I like that Freddy's there. Young Frankenstein. A lot of great clips in this. Nowadays, I feel that... Oh, turns out. Nowadays, I feel that a clip segment like this would be just horrible to watch because they would include new movies. And new movies just don't... They're not made to last. I'm not saying all movies at that time were made to last. I mean, that you could... I mean, you're not going to throw a clip from Howard the Duck into this. There was still schlock and crap being made, but it's different. It's different than just like, here's, you know, you're not going to throw in a shot from Boo and Medea Halloween, or so many other things that are made nowadays. They're just not, they don't have a classic appeal. And all this stuff lasts. Like, these movies are going to be watched by, you know, 5 generations from now. People will still see this stuff and will still be interested in it, even if it's from a historical kind of way. Like, people will still be interested. But like this middling period we're in now, I don't know. I don't know if people are going to care as much. And great movie themes like this, like John Williams music, like we just don't. Themes don't really stick with me the way they did. But then again, you know, I'm 38, and maybe like a 10-year-old now, like I was at the time, is looking at things differently. But they still make Star Wars movies and still make wonderful things, so I think there's still plenty of stuff to inspire kids. There's just so many things that it's like, I don't know, like the ratio is off. Oh, that's awesome. This is outside of the ride. It's like a faux kind of like Chinese theater.
George Lucas. Jimmy, you're in the chat. You're in the way.
Get out of the way, Jimmy. Damn. Thank you for filming these, Mom. Is that Jim Henson? Jimmy, you're in the shadow again.
Jimmy, you're in the way.
Thanks, Mom. Yell at him. Yell at your child. For ruining things. Now, I have a question about this. I noticed the dates there.
George Burns.
So it's 90. A lot of these look like they were dated a year. That's a weird thing. Dated a year before. Like, are those real? Like, that they have people come out and do that for MGM? Or are those like replicas of what's like out in front of the actual Man's Chinese Theater? I mean, I know the Roger Rabbit's phony, but I don't know. Since it's supposed to be a replica of it, I don't know if it actually had Lucas and, you know, Bob Hope come out there. I don't know. This is the Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular. I guess that's what it's called. I'm just saying that's what it's called. Nowadays, I know that there is an Indiana Jones ride at Disneyland, which is pretty cool. And again, it's weird because, like, you know, the selling of Disney and Lucasfilm was such a big news event. But look, that stuff's all here. I mean, granted, they don't have the rights to make the movies and everything, but it wasn't quite a surprise to me because of all this stuff. Wouldn't it be cool to play Indiana Jones in a stunt show like this? Like, what do you do for a living? I play Indiana Jones at a stunt show. It'd just be cool to do this, I think. I remember waiting for this thing to start. I do remember that. Now notice how everything here is working as opposed to Universal, which we'd go to a day later and nothing was working. So watching this reminds me of the Ghostbuster stunt show from that video. This is certainly a lot more impressive. Though actually whenever I see this scene or think of this scene now, it's so hard for me not to think of UHF. I don't know, like I just think, you know, his head spinning around and, you know, all the goofy stuff. I don't know, it's hard to get UHF out of my brain when I think of this whole Raiders scene. So this is pretty cool, like the ball is going to roll and stuff. I'll let this play, you can enjoy this. Here it comes.
Larry, are you all right? Larry, is he okay? Larry! Yeah, boss, yeah. I'm okay.
So that was cool, right? They made you think that, yeah, you get it, you get it. So there's a whole bit here where they bring a bunch of people in from the audience and like they're all back there wearing white so they can be in the middle of the stunt spectacular for the Cairo scene here. And mom got sort of getting patient and like didn't film a lot of this stuff. Like she just skips around through it. This is actually the best stuff in it, kinda, because look at that! How cool that is. At least she got that on camera. And I think they're gonna do the thing with I like how they're just bringing in sets and stuff. Like that's the funnest part of it. Here we've got the whole fight at the end of Raiders. It's not really at the end of Raiders. What is that like? Somewhere in the third act before they get to it's somewhere in the movie. Are there swastikas on the, Yeah, there is. I gotta think if they wouldn't do that nowadays. Movies wouldn't do that nowadays, but certainly in the park they wouldn't have swastikas on the planes there. Disney, if you want me to blur that out, well, I'm not going to do that, but I'm also not taking the video down. I guess if you claim it, but they're not going to do that. I'm just saying things. I like all the palm trees back there. Sort of don't really add to the atmosphere here.
Watch this.
Again, how many explosions? That's our drinking game for MGM. Take a shot whenever there's an explosion. I think I was talking to my buddy Rocco Jerome about MGM. He was like, yeah, I remember there being a lot of explosions and fire. And yeah, as I watch this, yeah, there is a lot of explosions and fire.
Don't walk in front of me.
I think we're going towards the Star Tours stuff now, which, of course, was so exciting for me. Like, look at that. Look at me walking upon it. I look like I'm wearing a dress. I mean, there's a giant walker there, and they kind of have like an indoor vibe. Again, this is 1990, so it's like 6 years out, or since 83. 7 years? I don't know. 7 years, yeah. So this is pretty awesome. Even now, I think that's awesome. Compare this to what the Star Wars land is going to be, which is this whole immersive experience, where it's like you're actually on a set, as far as like a generic kind of spaceport, from what I hear. And look at that. There's like the indoor village there, the Ewok village. It's all very, very cool. This was just a little slice of coolness, but now it's just like you get this times 1,000. And this queue is amazing. Probably the best queue that I had seen up until that point. Like nowadays, like the ride queues are like the best part of the ride. Like I hear like that Guardians ride, like the queue is like you're walking through the collector's collection and stuff. There's like animatronic Cosmo the Wonder Dog or whatever the hell. So this was the first really cool. I mean, this is the best part of it, kind of, is this whole walk up to it, where there's like droids and everything. And the one in Disneyland now, they still kind of do this. Like they still have a similar thing, from what I recall. I mean, the ride's a lot better and cooler, and like it's like it changes every time you're on it. And both times we rode it in California. This is like maybe 5 years ago. My brother, both times, same day, was the Rebel Spy. Have no idea how that worked out, but he got it both times. I think it's where you sit. There's like these cute little Johnny Five droids working on other droids, and like they kind of talk to you and interact. I mean, it's really so cool. You didn't see that a whole lot with the queues back then. Was this the first ride that had like this really awesome queue, like pirates and like Haunted Mansion's cool because you're out, you can see the house and like you're kind of in the house, and then they have the room that goes underground or whatever, like you're in an elevator and whatnot. So that was cool, but this is really where I think the immersive experience of rides kind of really took off. I mean, you didn't even mind waiting. You just like, I don't mind just standing here and looking at all these things. And everything's very tangible. I mean, the ride is like you're sitting in seats and things are moving, and it's like it's basically like you're watching a movie. But this is like you're immersed in Star Wars. It's funny though, I look at some of these little droids and things, and like you can totally see like where some of the prequel sort of things came from. Like it's kind of like all these goofy little droids talking and like kind of like baby voices and stuff. Like once you get to like newer Star Wars, or at least like prequel era, like you see that a lot. George is cramming the frame full of like little weird robots and things, and it's like a Mad magazine. Like you got to put like little things in the corners and stuff. I think I heard me talking about how cool it was to wait in this line. And well, the best, I don't know if we didn't get it, but like the mom didn't film it. But the best part of Star Tours is not just the walk up; it's that little video they show you where it's like, please put your spray tape, and like it has like a Reese like taking picture. Oh, here it is. Film it, Mom. Like they have Teak from like the Ewok Adventure, and like there's like a Reese and like an Ewok like all on the ride with you, and somebody's smoking. I think Reese is smoking. Chewie's there too, I think. That's on YouTube. You can find that. I love that part of it. I think that's one of the first things, like when YouTube became a thing, I was like, oh, I wonder if I can find that pre-show for Star Tours. And of course, it's on there. Now there's probably hundreds of videos of that kind of thing. Now the ride is different.
Mine too. it looks like we're going to have a smooth flight to Endor, so I'll go ahead and open the cockpit shield.
Now, because now it's like R2 and 3PO are flying the ship. Now it's this little character,
I see they're loading our navigator R2-D2.
who originally had a voice by Paul Rubens, and then after that fiasco or whatever, I think they replaced his voice. I heard that. I don't remember what year that was. I don't think that's happened yet. I think that was like 91. So at this point, Paul Rubens is still doing the voice. So you're taking off, and then something happens. Because that's the thing in these rides, like, oh, we're going for a tour. Oh, gosh, we took a left instead of a right. And then it's like, everything goes to hell. Yeah, see, there you go. We're not supposed to, this is restricted. This is a restricted zone. What are you doing? This is great. When it takes off right like that, you really did. There's my mom here hooting and howling. You really did feel that first drop like you were dropping. And then the thing swings in your way. Mom is loving herself. Dad, Dad has little reaction to anything. Light speed, it's so cool. Mom's having fun. And notice Mom is also filming this. Like, Mom filmed everything. Like, eventually I'll do the Epcot video. Mom filmed all of Captain EO with the 3D glasses over. She thought, we were cute back in the day. We thought you could just, we can put 3D glasses over the camera, and of course it'll be 3D. But of course it wasn't. I mean, you're just seeing like one side of it, like the red side and not the blue. And that's just not going to work. Here we're riding through, they look like Superman's little stalactite he came to Earth in. I think we're flying through one of them. I guess it's like a meteor shower or something. That part really, the camera even registered like that boom there.
Everything's under control, and we'll be on our way to the Endor moon without any further delay.
Uh-oh, here's where the fan fiction comes in. It's Darth Vader's Star Destroyer. Oh my God. This was awesome because as a Star Wars fan, like Star Wars was gone. And then you'd never have it back again. So these little glimmers were so exciting because it's like Star Wars was alive again. You know, little did we know that now Star Wars is like, will be with us until the day we're all dead. Like, and there will be new things all the time. I hate being cynical about that. I don't want to be. But I can't help but just feel that way and say those kind of things. Even though I know I will find things to like in every Star Wars thing, I still kind of wonder, what if Star Wars was it? Like, what if we never got prequels, or it was always just this special thing that happened 30 years ago that, you know, even the prequels is not happening. Like, we would still have these wonderful films, but that's just not the way things work nowadays. This is a thing that makes money, and it will make money it'll always be new for a new generation. So I have to make peace with it. And this ride really crams in everything you would want. I guess we don't here we go, we go in the trench. Like, I mean, we don't fly along like a Tatooine type thing, but it's all in space. But I'm gonna take a drink of beer because I'm talking a whole lot. It's Star Wars, so I'm getting excited. Light speed! It's so neat to see that. Here we are back at the docking bay. Yeah, it still sounds like Paul Rubens doing it. Whew, so that was real neat, I gotta tell you. Okay, so here's something we did, which is like the animation studio. And a lot of it was videos. But look at that Bart Simpson doll. Because that was like the hot ticket there. There was a Bart Simpson, and I knew that was the hot ticket. And I was like, yay, we're at the Disney Studios, and they have a Bart Simpson. Because like Fox was just like the bad boys, you know, doing what you're going to do, making a Simpson show. You know, they curse and whatnot. So that was real cool that and some animator. And I guess these are working animators. I mean, I don't know what they're working on. What was 1990?
Well, we're almost ready.
I feel we were still in the dark times of Disney animated films, I think. Well, Little Mermaid was like 87, so I guess things were... Was it 87 or 89? I don't remember. Anyway, here's the Muppets. I'm going to be quiet for some of this, because some people are going to like this.
Mickey, I'm calling on the picture phone to see how the show's going. Oh, it's going, great, just great. How does the audience like it? They love it. Just listen to this applause.
Jim Henson doing Kermit. Oh, just perfection.
See it. Me too. What'd you say? Nothing, Mickey. Listen, I gotta run. Bye now. So long. Oh, this is terrible. I can't do this show alone. I know. The gang can't be far. I'll call them.
Gracious hello.
Oh my
This is your
gosh.
Walt Disney World picture phone operator. How may I be of assistance?
Did people know what Lily Tomlin's laughing character was? This is kind of... feels like... I mean, I knew it, but...
Frog's legs.
Look, you don't understand.
Sir, we at the phone company are trained to be understanding.
Oh, good. Well, I'm trying to reach Miss Piggy.
Oh, good. I like how Jim says it. That's Kermit.
No, it's more like frog to pig.
Frog to pig, to each his own. I'll connect you.
I like how he's interacting with the screen.
Bonjour. Piggy, it's Kermit.
Tommy Shaggy, how are you?
Terrible. The show started. Where are you?
Oh, Kermit, I am so sorry.
So it's a little weird that
I'm in an important business meeting.
Kermit is live action, a man in a suit, and he's talking to Piggy, who's a puppet.
Picture phone. We can see you. Great. Okay, that's one down.
Again, the Muppets,
Gracious good act. Oh, it's you.
now owned by
Listen,
Disney,
could you
but
please connect me to Fozzie Bear?
Oh, my. Aren't we
it was
in
a
rush?
very easy connection for me to make. I mean, they were always had such a presence with
You don't know
Disney.
what sorry is.
Hello? Fozzie, where are you?
Kermit! Oh, Kermit! I don't know where I am. I'm sorry, but
I actually, this is getting a little maudlin of me, but I remember the day my dad told me that Jim Henson passed away. I remember where I was. I remember being in a car, getting in the car. We were going somewhere, and I just got off from school, and he was like, "You'll never guess who died." And he said Jim Henson had died, and I could not believe it because they had just did a special. That's a great Fozzie costume. It's weird he was a puppet, now he's a guy in a costume. But they had just done the Muppets at Disney World special on TV. And the Muppets were going to become part of the Disney. I guess Jim was trying to make that deal happen or something. And I don't know if when he died, I don't know if they decided, I don't know what happened, but I had just seen that special, so I was like, how could he be dead? I just saw that special. And I guess we had been here. I'm getting off on a tangent. I start talking about and thinking about Jim Henson. I get very nostalgic. Just a very inspirational person for me in my life. So I could wax on, you know. This is great. Dr. Teeth and Electric Mayhem and big costumes. I don't know what they do now with the Muppets there. I know they have a thing, but Muppets in 3D or something. Oh dear, it's Bean Bunny. So this is the period when they were trying to force Bean Bunny upon us. And it did not stick. That's how you know it's the 90s Muppets, because you see Bean Bunny. This is barely 90s though, it's 1990. I think that was Stephen Whitmire kind of doing his Rizzo voice for Bean Bunny.
Yes, Mr. Bear. Do you know why my uncle tied banana peels to his feet?
No, Mr. Bear. Why did your uncle tie banana peels to his feet?
Because he wanted a pair of slippers.
Oh, Mr. Bear.
So.
Yes, Mr. Frog.
You know, your jokes are like wine.
You mean they improve with age?
No, too much of them and you're sick. Again.
Do we ever cut to the old guys up in the Statler and Waldorf up in the thing? Are they creepy guys in costumes? I hope not. I don't remember how long the show is. It's like a half hour. We have only got portions of it here, but we liked it. And you can't really go wrong with the Muppets. Well, I guess you can, right, NBC? That Office show they did.
It's my great privilege to introduce a performer I've known for a long, long time. In fact, we started together so long ago that, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Piggy.
Now Miss Piggy is the person in costume. Never before.
Others have tried to shine over and over. They've tried to look as fine over.
Of course, the wonderful Frank Oz still doing Miss Piggy.
But over and over, they've missed what makes love divine. 'Cause I've got a personality.
Is this one of the, I don't know, I bet, is this one of the last projects that like the main Muppet cast are all together? Like Jim's there, Frank's there. I don't know. I don't, none of the Jim's movies are after this, right? I don't think. Jim passed away, and then there was the Christmas Carol and Treasure Island, but that's a few years down the road, I believe. Tape stop. Somebody hit play. Oh, it's the blue screen of death. Don't worry, this will only be momentarily. This is just a momentary lapse of blueness. And we're back with the Muppets. I could edit out stuff like the blue screen, but it just seems like it adds to the VHS fun that's involved with watching stuff like this. So I'll just leave it in. Why not?
Yo, Kermit, my main frog.
What is it for?
We're gonna need a couple of more seconds to get this gig swinging.
What?
Well, you see,
Yeah, Mr. Floyd Pepper, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, well, what am I supposed to do?
Animal doesn't quite make the transition to live action. The head there's a little off for me.
Well, here's a nice little song you may have heard. It's not that easy, mean green.
Can't talk during this, so enjoy.
Having to spend each day the color of the leaves. When I think it could be nicer being red or yellow or gold, or something much more colorful like that. But green's the color of spring. Green can be cool and friendly like.
And green can be big, like an ocean, or a mountain, like a mountain, or tall like a tree.
And green is all there is to be. It could make you wonder why. But why wonder? Why wonder? I'm green, little fly. It's beautiful. I think it's what I want to be.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you.
Really good song. Oh, well, thank you guys. I wonder if the band is ready now.
Yo, frog, we are ready.
Yes, performance from Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem. So now apparently they do a thing where like the puppets from Electric Mayhem will perform on stage, and I think they do that in the park. That's the thing they do now. So technology's gotten to a point where I don't know how they I guess people are just hidden. The puppeteers are just hidden. And they push them in on the stage, and like, you know, then they push it out, and I don't know. I mean, this is what you had to do at the time, and it's fine to see people in costumes, you know. I've kind of run out of things to say about this live Muppet thing, but I know some people will enjoy seeing this, so I'm just going to let this play. I'm just going to sit back and watch. I'll stop. I like seeing a guy in a Zoot costume up there. That's pretty cool. I feel like we're missing a guy in a Rolf costume, but otherwise I got no complaint. I mean, we could swap out Bean Bunny and put in Rolf. That would be a better decision, I think. Electric teeth, electric tones. Boo. Oh, Kermit just fell. You see that? Kermit fell. Kermit the Frog has left the building, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, for some reason, this isn't all of it, but we went on the this tram ride twice. I don't know, but here's a good shot of the mouse water tower thing.
Now, looking high and to your right, you're going to see your first photo opportunity, and that's the symbol of the Disney MGM Studios. It's our award-winning Earful Tower, which stands 13 stories tall, and is capped off by a set of mountaineers weighing 16 tons. Now, just in case you're wondering, that's a hat size. I know some of you must be curious.
Earful Tower. Ha, ha, ha. Anyway, it was pretty cool.
On the left is a beige Hawaiian modern style home.
There's another, this is, we went a second time, so this is a little bit more of the Golden Girls house.
For Betty White, Ruma Penningham, and Estelle Getty. Yes, folks, this is the home of the Emmy Award-winning Golden Girls.
I don't know why we did this a second time. Maybe Mom really liked it and wanted another camera angle. I have no idea. Maybe we just wanted to sit. You walk around so much, sometimes you just want to sit. I think Mom zooms in on the, yeah, that's cool.
Take this last house coming up on your left, for example.
There's just a smidgen of this. I guess we did, yeah, this was part of the, so we did this a second time too. All right. As I said, this is 1990. Got my Bart Simpson hat on. I'm in with my turtles. There's a manhole there, like a turtle's manhole. This is like, this whole video, as I said earlier, it's just like oozing 1990. Ooh. I just said oozing turtles. Anyway, and it's weird the turtles are there because what does turtles have to do with Disney? Like, I guess they had an exclusive deal to have turtles in the park because it was like the cool thing. Look at me, oh, look at me lonely waiting. I'm just waiting for my turn.
That was cute.
I'm doing a hammy. Oh, look, I did the thing. I did that thing that...
How wonderful I am. How wonderful.
My mom's doing shtick. I'm doing that thing that the 90s kids did where they crossed their arms like they were like Run DMC. Or that's what people still do that now. That's the thing you see like when a character in something is supposed to have attitude. Like in these like these animated movies that have these kids have this tude. They all cross their arms like that. It makes me want to vomit. Here come the turtles. In the turtle van. Similar enough to the one in the cartoon. April's driving. I don't know about that kid song version of the theme song. That's a little cheesy to me. But hey, it's cool. And also there's a that's fun. There's a building there on the lot that was used for the I guess that's why they're there. That was used as April's in the first movie, like her novelty shop, like that was shot there. The second time around, that's it. That was April. Look, there's a fanny pack. Mom, there's turtles on stage and you're filming the ground. There I am doing that again. I'm doing that. I'm having attitude, leaning against a... Oh, that was fun. That should have lasted longer. I'll grab a still of that. We're just in time for the Disney MGM parade! Yay! No other way to cap off a video than with a parade. I love a parade, don't you? Here comes the characters you love. It's Chip and Dale, and Goofy too. Pan the camera for Pluto, and the White Rabbit and Sadie Orr, and Tigger. That Tigger, I always read terrible stories about the Tigger at Disney parks. Like he grabs children and does all kinds of stuff. And Mickey there too, of course.